You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. My name is Nick Hart. You join me at the Den prior to the Bristol City match in the midst of the high emotion of the John Berylson video. It's just been displayed to the crowd. The Berylson family are currently on the pitch. You can hear the acclaim of the crowd. Have a listen to this. Very, very emotional video. The Millwall media team have done a superb job in putting that together. Very emotional situation. I understand that James Berylson, the new chairman, John's son obviously, has been doing the rounds outside, shaking the hands of fans. The Den is utterly packed at the moment. I'm up in block 1. It must be a very, very touching, moving thing to be out there on the pitch at the moment for the family. Superb banner opposite me on the Dockers stand. Thank you, JB, Mill forever, with the Stars and Stripes. The Stars and Stripes itself is flying high over the Den at half-mast alongside the St George's Cross and the club flag. Here come the two teams, dear listeners, in the middle of all this high emotion. We've got a football match, Millwall playing Bristol City. Let's draw a veil over the midweek depression. This is not a day for worrying about that, or that League Cup exit at the hands of Reading's under-21 side. Your Millwall team this afternoon, dear listeners, unchanged from Middlesbrough. That's Sarkic, Danny Mack, Murray Wallace fit to start today. Sean Hutch, Jake Cooper, up front Nisbet, Billy Mitchell, Zian Fleming, Joe Bryan, Duncan Whitmore and Caspar de Noran. Unchanged from Middlesbrough, dear listeners. I'm high in Birdshit Corner, thankfully not as bird-shitty as it was on Tuesday night. It has been cursorily cleaned. So my fear of avian flu has been reduced, if not entirely dissipated, but certainly I can stand up here and bring you my take on proceedings this afternoon. It's been a very emotional start to a football match. You can hear the noise in the stadium, dear listeners. Both teams bringing Reeves out to the centre of the pitch. I think there's going to be a minute's applause prior to the start of the game, and then we're on for the football. I just hope the football matches up to the prelims, dear listeners. That's all I can say. Millwall fans capture the moment. That's suitable for the situation, isn't it, dear listeners?
Dedication and professionalism, and help the club enjoy some of the best moments in its history. Please join together to remember John with a minute of applause, which will end on the referee's whistle.
There we are, a minute's applause. The crowd are up for it. I'm actually surrounded. It's an American-themed show today, listeners. I'm surrounded in Block 1 by members of the Texas Christian University, the Horned Frogs. There's a huge grouping of basketball team on tour. They've been doing European soccer games, I suppose. And they pitched up at Millwall today, so they've certainly chosen a big one, that's for sure. Looks like Millwall will be defending the Coldblow Lane end in the first half, so therefore attacking the away end in the first half. Today, not entirely the away end, of course. There are two blocks down there full of Millwall fans. The Venerable Bede had it that way in his Anglo-Saxon Chronicle all those centuries ago in 9th century Lindisfarne Monastery, listeners. That's how he wanted it. He wanted it that way and he said so. It's going to be Bristol to kick us off in red. Lions, of course, in dark blue. One thing about that midweek debacle on Tuesday night is it can't get any worse, can it? Will Bristol get us away? I had myself some pre-match pie mash. I got here early today, listeners, for one or two bits and pieces. And I had myself some pie mash off the Manses store. I don't want to turn this into like a consumer complaints show. But I wasn't impressed. If I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy it again. Little free kick there for Duncan Watmore on the right, just inside the Bristol half. Yeah, stone cold first one. I sent that one back, and the pie is stone cold. Second one was moderately warmer, but rather gunky. Wasn't like the real thing you get in the shop. So I'm not sure about the Manses double stand at the cold blow area. Tell me your thoughts and feelings on it. We've come to 6.5 minutes. This is the free kick from Joe Bryan. It's sprayed wide as Jake gets on the end of it there. It's gone back the wrong way, unfortunately. The players are wearing special shirts with JB's moniker on the shirts. They might have seen that on social media. Normally for these programmes I'll do some notes for myself, listeners. I didn't get it together today, unfortunately. So I'm purely depending on the imagination and the things that go through my head today. I normally have some notes relating to recent events at the Den, but nothing from me today. So apologies if you find it, dull by comparison, or maybe more exciting. I don't know. You tell me. Lovely taken turn, Billy Mitch finds Casper De Noor midfield. Come towards 15.5 minutes. Looking at 16 shortly. This is Danny Mack. That's slightly. He's got down there. It's going to be a Millwall throw-in. Right-sided throw-in, just about 2 or 3 yards short of the right corner flag. As we pass 16 minutes, looks like it's going to be a Zian long throw, listeners. Never terribly effective. I'm hoping this will be the commentator's curse that makes it effective, because normally they're not terribly effective, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see what we find here. Zian Fleming rolls back out to him on the right side. Decent little cross there. It's Murray. Goalkeeper takes 16.5 minutes. Murray almost did a suicide ball there, but somehow we recover it but now falls to a red shirt. This is Bristol looking to break down on the right side. 21 on 20 minutes. Ball's into the middle. It's gone through Sean Hutchinson with a player lurking behind him. More by luck than judgment, I fear, but it's gone for a throw-in from Millwall on the right side. That was a close call. Ball across our 6-yard box on 20 minutes. It hit Hutchinson and kind of skidded away from the following in Bristol. That could have been a goal there for Bristol. As it is, we survived. We dodged that bullet, dear listeners. I was thinking on Tuesday night, I don't know if I said in the previous show, apologies if I did, but the way that Joe Bryan holds himself and conducts himself on the football field reminds me a lot of Ian Dawes' 1988 classic side, first division side. He's got the same kind of look. This is Duncan Watmore. He spreads play to Danny Mack. Lovely little feint. It's inside to Duncan Watmore. What can he do? Shot blocked. That was a Brazilian-style feint there by Zian Fleming. Wonderful moment. I thought Duncan Watmore had a chance there, but the shot was blocked. 21 minutes. By far the best Millwall move of the match so far, dear listeners. Well escorted back by Jake Cooper there. The Bristol forward looking for a penalty, but I think the referee saw through that little ruse. So that was a brilliant feint there and dummy by Zian Fleming. That's one for the highlights package, if or when you get to see it. 24 minutes in comes the left-sided corner. It's bouncing around off the line. This is a chance for Millwall to break. This is Watmore is being physically held back. That's got to be a yellow card. Crowd howling. He was being rugby tackled there, listeners, as he broke away. Yellow card. Would have been a red any further forward, I think. As it is, it's a free kick for Millwall. Cynical stuff by the Bristol 8, who's now drawing the ire, the wrath, the comment of the crowd. Launches it left to right as we previously. Jake gets down to it, it's bouncing around. Nisbet loops it over the bar. At a moment's chance there. Ticking towards 25 minutes, dear listeners. Mill looking better in the last few minutes or so. Not huge amounts to report from the game overall. One or two chances and moments without really anything taking materialising overall. Lions have looked sharper as it's gone along. And Bristol haven't really threatened at our end, but that's we don't want to tempt Lady Fate, do we, dear listeners? She haunts us always at the den, laughing at us. Oh, Hutch has a mare, releases the 20 in front of goal. Oh, he does a bullet there, 32nd minute. He's still in possession now on the left side. Absolute howler by Hutchinson. Falls to the 8th, shot is blocked. Talk about a self-inflicted error there, dear listeners. There was a moment there where the 20 was through on goal. As it is, we survived to live another day. 33 minutes, wow. Looks like some medical thing going on over in the Coldblow Lane end. The first A team running to something over there. Game is continuing. I don't know what's going on over there. Bristol in possession. 33 and a half. The ball's flashed over the bar there. That's going to be a corner, left-sided corner. Looks like there's some high-vis jackets in the crowd down there. They were running there with a kind of urgency of you know, something going off there. In it comes, fisted away by near post ball there, fisted away by Sarkic. It's gone for a right-sided corner. Will dodged the bullet there. There was a moment where the ball was loose. It was shot in at the right side near post and gone for a corner. My attention was drawn to the events in the crowd over there. Not sure what is going on. In comes the corner from the other side. It's hoof clear now. Deep into the Bristol half. Oh, I thought Danny Mack was going to get penalised. There was a moment where the ball broke down the left. The Millwall attention generally is focused on what's going on behind the goal, I think. We've got to switch on. I thought that was a penalty for a moment. The referee hasn't given it, thankfully. He seems to be equally incompetent with both sides. But that looked like a shout, to be honest with you, listeners. We're on 36 minutes at the moment. It's just a bit of a sense of knowing what's going on behind the goal. Bristol spreading play. I think they're taking advantage to move the ball about a little bit, whilst there's a sense of unease. Bit of applause there. That's just, someone's being taken away in a wheelchair. Life can get back to the football. I think it's going to be okay, thankfully. Beautiful taken turn by Kevin Nisbet. He gets it back on the right edge of the penalty area. There's a wonderful bit of skill there as he tries to thread his way through. This is Billy Mitch now. We're on 37 minutes. Spreads play to Hutchinson on the right side. He puts the ball into a red shirt, unfortunately. That was a wonderful bit of skill there by Kevin Nisbet. Ping pong inside the Millwall half there. 39 minutes, comes towards 40 minutes. Bristol starting to look a bit dangerous, listeners. We need to get through the half time unscathed if possible. Reform in the second half. I think the introduction of the talent in the second half will certainly change our prospects. Beautiful ball spread by Casper Delors. He's been my man of the half so far, dear listeners. Finds Danny Mack, but unfortunately run into trouble over on the right side. Ball spins away from Dan. It's gone for a Bristol throw-in. Last few seconds of the first half. I don't know how much extended time we'll have at the end of 1 minute. So no extended time, regular time, added time. Beautiful inside ball there from Joe Bryan. Finds Delors. The referee blows the half-time whistle with us on the break. Millwall players surrounding Keith Stroud, reinforcing his sluggishness. Crowd howls for why he didn't let that break continue. The minute was up, I guess. Millwall having something to say. There it is anyway. Half-time, Millwall 0, Bristol City 0, dear listeners.
Achtung, Millwall.
God bless Michael Avery for coming round at half-time, checking on my bird shit situation. God bless you, Michael. It's all gone. Largely gone.
Largely gone. There's a few patters here and there.
I'd say the risk of avian flu is down about 10 to 15% now.
Yeah,
that's tolerable for me.
Yeah, it's still not great.
No.
But it'd be more entertaining than that half of football anyway.
Yeah, nothing much to report there, mate. I think we need pace and we need creativity, but then that's the last 50 years of my Millwall support.
Yeah, we again, the same sort of thing. We seem to run out of ideas when we get to the final third, as we did a few times.
Yeah. Little moment of magic from Nisbet at one point. I thought we were on there. He did a kind of a Cruyff-style taken turn, but unfortunately the bobble took it away from him. But apart from that, nothing much to report. We do need something extra. I mean, I imagine the talent's going to come in the second half.
And to be fair, apart from some last gasp defending from Jake Cooper, we would have been right under the cosh.
Well, we got lucky a couple of times.
I don't know what Hutch was doing there, but I mean, the thing that's getting me as well is that you look at the stats and you look at the possession stats and passing. But to be fair to Millwall to some degree, of Bristol City, they're passing the ball a lot, but they're not doing anything with it neither. Really.
No. They're a possession, pass it around, so a bit like Swansea that we saw previously in the past. Pass it. I mean, I take great comfort that we aren't 2 or 3 goals behind at half time with a shambles of a defence in front of us. So, we've improved from Tuesday night. Yeah,
and also as well, I mean, as much as it pains me because it's the old cliche, one of our own and all that kind of stuff, but if McNamara had some competition for his place, would he be in the side? Because he seems to be, without, I don't want to sound too negative, but he's struggling with any pass that's longer than 3-4 yards. There was a little dink he's tried to do there a minute ago that didn't come off. Yeah. He's then tried to do a recovering header where he's launched himself at the ball and they've just dinked over his head and run off. Yeah. He just needs to put his foot on the ball and calm down because we know what he can do as a player. We know what he can do with the ball.
It's the big occasion syndrome. He's Millwall through and through, and I think the start of the game, everyone was a bit under the cosh from the pre-match events, which incidentally, while I got here, it was really, really well done by the club.
Yeah, excellent. And I also want to say full credit as well to all those who came round to the awning to get all the badges.
All the badges, they go.
Sold really, really well, and obviously the money's going to the Berison Memorial Legacy Fund. Huge thank you to everyone who came there, and good to meet people as well. Matt Richards, we met, Barnesy, all those kind of guys. So who we know listen to the pod. So nice to see you all as well. So thank you very much, everyone.
Nice one. Second half, dear listeners, Millwall to kick off. Cold Blow Lane in, facing. Need to liven it up from that first half. It was rather drab, in all honesty. It's not going to excite many of the punters around me. And then didn't excite me tremendously. We had 1 or 2 half moments of near chances, but nothing huge to report in that first 45 minutes. Anyway, the game is underway. The Lions are attacking the Cold Blow Lane end. Let's get some opinion from Texas for the podcast. Hello, sir. What's your name?
What's going on? My name is Jalen Perrin.
All the way from the Texas...
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, sir.
First trip to Europe?
It's the first trip to Europe, yes. My first trip.
And you've come to Millwall. What are you making of proceedings so far?
It's been a great contest. It's competitive.
Yeah.
I think Millwall just needs to open up some better opportunities to score, but other than that, they're doing well.
We need more skill on the ball. Lots of toing and throwing. Bristol passed the ball a lot, but we don't have any creativity. We don't have any imagination on the ball, do we?
That's very true. I think we're just trying to pick apart the defense and find an opening right now.
You follow the soccer in the US? You're a fan?
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, but I don't follow it that much.
Okay.
Huge fan, though.
Yeah.
We watch it.
And you what other events?
I'm a Red Bulls fan. I'm from New Jersey, so we're near New York. So I'm familiar with some of the teams.
So you're touring Europe. You're doing some trips.
We're here on a foreign tour. So we went to France for 5 days, then we came to London right after. We played teams.
See any sports in France or anything?
No. It's the first game we went to.
Just a visit.
Yes, sir.
Here come Bristol, overlapping on the right side. 49 minutes. That's blocked in from the right side. I'm hoping you'll be excited when we make our substitutions later. I'm going to hold the excitement of the talent coming in for the Americans around me, dear listeners, because we do need a bit of excitement. Crowd doing their best to get behind their side because at the moment it's looking a little bit lethargic, dear listeners. Bristol on the break now to 12, trying to work it through. That's cleared to the last by Murray Wallace. Ball into space by Zian Fleming. Into no one. 54 minutes, the crowd not happy, listeners. I think change must surely be coming. Until 57 minutes. Deep free kick from Sarkic, deep in her own half. Ball's a bit of head tennis down at the Bristol end now. Too many red shirts in the way. There's been very little to report so far in the second half, listeners. The game, dear listeners, has been a buzzkill overall. It's 58 minutes. Obviously, we had the high emotion of the start, and then in a very Millwall style, we've managed to kill off any excitement. We do need to find something from somewhere. I can only imagine that's going to be the introduction of the talent. 58.5 minutes, but at the moment there's very little to report, very little incident in the second half at all. At the moment it's comfortable for Bristol. So comfortable, the young lady next to me staring intently at her phone. That's how exciting the game is, listeners. Have you enjoyed your trip to Millwall today?
I have. It's been fun.
You don't have to be polite either. You can tell it straight.
You know what? I'm not purely into it, but this is like
you're having me on. No, surely not. She's not really into it.
It's kind of embarrassing. I'm sorry.
You enjoyed the soap opera before the start more than the game. Carry on with your phone. That's all right. It's all right. I must admit, it's not a bad judgment based on what we've seen this afternoon, dear listeners. It's been a very dull show. Ticking towards 60 minutes now on the stadium clock. We do need to change matters. I'm hoping that Gary Rowett will see it the same way. Changes for Millwall. Looks like Tom Bradshaw's going to come in. Bit of effort's going to come in for Duncan Watmore. Not as effective maybe as last week at Middlesbrough, but certainly maximum effort from Duncan Watmore. Tom Bradshaw will bring the same kind of approach. Oh, that was a moment. It bobbles to the edge of the penalty area. It's the 6, puts it wide right. We dodged the bullet there, dear listeners. Edge of the penalty area, put it wide right. It was a kind of an angled shot. 3-man substitution for Bristol. 64 minutes. Crowd doing their best to put something into the dull proceedings. That's a free kick. We keep running into banks of red shirts, listeners. We are in possession. Another attempted ball forwards from Murray. It's gone for not a throw. It's been picked up on the right by the Bristol winger. It's their turn to come at us now. 66 minutes, halfway through the second half, and near as damn it. Jake forced into conceding a right-sided corner there. A little bit of going to have to build a bit of understanding with the goalkeeper. I think he was going to come there and then didn't, and Jake in the end stumbled it. It's gone for a right-sided corner. 70 minutes, listeners. It's a Millwall free kick. Zian drawing a bop on the head. Free kick just inside the Bristol half, just right of the centre circle. Danny Mack to take it. In it comes. No one there, unfortunately. It falls to Noah, catches it on the volley, but well wide. 72 minutes. This is Bristol coming down our left at number 11. Edge of the penalty area, shot. Oh, wide right. Thought that was in for one awful moment, listeners. 72.5 minutes. Playing with my nerves, dear listeners. Just playing with my nerves. Surely we're going to see the talent, surely, dear listeners. Surely. Change it, Rowett, indeed. You can almost feel the crowd willing Edomo Imaku and Roman Essays to come into proceedings. Looks like this may be it. Let's have a look. Joel Saville's coming in. Looks like Roman and Edomo to come in too, dear listeners, down there. Looking towards the 80th minute. Going to get 10 plus whatever extended time we get at the end of the game. Nisbet's coming out. He's played well today, but ineffective, but he's looked good in moments. That's not a contradiction in terms. Edomo comes in, and here comes Roman Essay. Has he left it too late? Would you have played them earlier? You tell me. Why don't you send me your voice notes on a DM on Twitter? Press the little voice note thing in the bottom right-hand corner of the direct message on Twitter. Let me have your post-match thoughts, musings, rages, rants, whatever you want. Send them to me. Roman chasing down the 16 there. To the applause of the crowd. That's what they want to see. Hungry boy. 84.5 minutes, 5 minutes of what has been a very dull game, in all honesty, listeners. I mean, it's not huge amounts to report, as you would have detected across the breadth of this coverage that we've done today. All it takes is one moment of magic, however. We've got the players to do it now in Romain Esse, Marku, Tom Bradshaw. And wouldn't it be nice to win a dull game rather than lose or, succumb to a 0-0? A lot of aimless passing today, a lot of aimless passing. Joe Bryan coming down the left now with Marku. Bryan has got Esse on the inside of him. Is Esse, what can he do? Oh, he gets clipped on the edge of the penalty area. Surely a free kick. A yard short of the penalty area there, as he was gliding through the centre of the Bristol defence there in the way that Ramon can. It's just on the left side of the D. Jules Saville standing over it. Jake Cooper standing over it. That's an intriguing moment. Referee pushing the ball back. Ticking towards the 88th minute now. Saville on target, loose. Danny Mack in there. Bouncing around, goalkeeper collects. 88 minutes. It was running free for a moment. Saville took it. It was on target. Goalkeeper got down well to parry it low. Rolled loose. Danny Mack was in there, but unfortunately blocked at the last. Some beautiful work there by Romain Esse. The crowd approving of that over on the far left side. It's gone for a throw-in. Running through a sea of tackles there. It's gone past the 90-minute mark. 5 minutes of added time. Say goodbye to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, bye.
They're all going home. Nice to meet you, mate. Take care. Well, that must have been an experience for the Texas Christian University. I'm going to send a big shout out to the TCU for joining me on today's show. Not sure what the young lady next to me made of proceedings. It's been a fairly dull affair, let's be quite honest. Livened up a little bit late in the second half, but Millwall never really showing enough imagination as it is. We've got, 90 seconds to go. It's the Bristol City long throw in from the right side. In it comes. Bodies flying. It falls loose. They slam it home from close to the death. Oh, fucking hell. The sucker punch, listeners. We've been waiting for it the whole game. Fucking hell. Ball came in from the right side. Rolls loose, slammed home from close. You'll see it on the YouTube. Gutsy way to lose the game. Gutsy way to lose the game. What can we say about that? We've waited a long while to bring in our most attractive players. A game that was crying out for some creativity for the bulk of the game. And then we've been hit by a sucker punch. That can happen, listeners. But you do wonder whether the likes of Marku and Romain should have come in. Romain especially. I mean, the boy just has an ability to run with the ball and go past defenders that is magical. I don't know if I'm overdoing it. I don't think I am overdoing it. I think when you get a rare talent like that you should use it. And there we are. He waited till the 80th minute of a dead game, dead rubber, effectively, a dead situation, dead rubber. As it is going to be Bristol to go back down the M4 with the 3 points. Booing. The team gave everything they had to give. It was a dead situation. It was that, if you're going to boo anything, boo the manager for not making the right changes till too late in the game, dear listeners. I think that's got to go down on Gary Rowett's bank account as an unnecessary loss. Not to come away from that match with at least a 0-0. He's very frustrated. I think I've had enough of this afternoon, dear listeners. So we'll sign out there from the den. 0-0, Bristol 1.
Achtung, Millwall.
Hello?
Hi Nick, Angelo here, mate. Just need my therapy to get rid of my frustration after a shit show today. Just terrible, mate, absolutely terrible. And you know, the thing is, if we don't concede in the 93rd minute, we've got 4 points out of 2 games, out of 6, and we'd have kept 2 clean sheets. And that is just a load of bollocks because we are just shit at the moment, mate. I've been to the 2 home games on Tuesday night and obviously today, and I don't think we've had one clear chance. The football's been atrocious the last 2 games, and things need to improve, mate. Sharpish, absolutely sharpish, because this, you know, to go and watch that shit every week is just so frustrating, mate, honestly. And you know, it's just weird with Gary Rowett. Whenever we got a big occasion, if ever we got a big cup game, he can't lift the players. Today was one of the biggest occasions ever, and he can't lift the players. You know, Harris with the cup games, he used to lift everybody, and we used to do tremendous. Why is it Gary Rowett can't lift these players? I don't get it. I don't understand it. The only person today, the only player that come out with any credit was Casper Denor, who I thought was excellent, and no idea why he takes him off, because he didn't look tired to me. He was running around all over the place. So God knows. The 2 star boys, why is he bringing them on so late? The guys that can, you know, get us off our seat, get the crowd going, get something moving, it brings them on too late. And it's just terrible, mate, and very, very frustrated. And, you know, this myth about we're fucking strong at home is a lot of bollocks, mate. We are shit at home. I don't know how many games we lost, you know, with the cup, I think we lost 6, 7, 8 games last season. It's just not good enough, mate. And obviously, I'm, you know, a lot of people on Twitter totally against this, the 5 at the back, and yeah, it just doesn't work, does it? You know, I heard Gary Rowett saying, oh, Luton went up with it, Sheffield United went up with it, but maybe their players are better adapted to it, you know? We need to go back to the 4, end of, yeah? End of. This stupid 5 at the back is rubbish, mate. And we haven't got the players to play out at the back, you know? Our 3 central defenders are not very good with the ball at their feet, so... Yeah, very frustrated, Nick, and yeah, just a disappointing day. And I was expecting a lot more for the Memorial Day for JB, but c'est la vie, mate. So let's roll on to next next Sunday. All right, come on, you Lions. Cheers, bye.
Hi, Nick. Just thought I'd send in a voice note on that abysmal performance at home against Bristol. Only one person to blame here, and that's Gary Rowett. What a ridiculous way to set up a team, you know, to play a game of football. What has this guy had for breakfast? I think he's trying to get sacked. I mean, right, you know, all right, he's a so-called professional manager and I'm a know-nothing Mill supporter. But listen, I've been playing football all my life and I've been watching Millwall for 50 years, right? And that qualifies me, I think, to have a few opinions on what I saw today. That was just the worst kind of football you could ever imagine, to be honest with you. I'm really angry because to have 7 defensive footballers on the pitch, you know, and play your number 10 at right winger, well, I mean, I don't need to say any more than that, do I? Danny Mack is not a wing back. Poor old Danny Mack, right? He's a very competent fullback who can overlap. Joe Bryan, on the other hand, seems to be, you know, growing into that position as wing back. But why have you got 2 CDMs when you got 5 at the back? Why have you got 2 stoppers, right, in front of 3 centre backs? It's just rubbish. It's not going to work unless he changes properly and packs the midfield and plays a more attacking style of football, plays Zian Fleming a lot deeper so he can get on the ball and try to express himself. Then it's going to be sayonara, mate, mid-table relegation battle. So my man of the match for me today was Joe Bryan. I thought he played well. I got nothing really against the players, but Gary Rowett, man, I mean, blimey. You know, it's said with the best intent, but I don't know what you're trying to achieve there. Evidently, we've just heard from the post-match video
that he was going for a 0-0 draw after 70 minutes. You know, pack up and take the point. Well, there you are. That sums it up. Because the other side, Bristol, brought on 3 attacking substitutes and they nicked the game. You know, and they played well. They moved the ball around. They were prodding and, you know, looking dangerous. And I just thought we were pretty awful, really, because we just could not play to that. I don't even know what system Gary Rowett was playing. You know, that's what worries me. I don't even know what system he plays sometimes, because I was watching the way we were playing in the second half and it was just all over the place. So, not really happy, thoroughly cheesed off, really. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Joe from Chicago here. Quite irritated before noon on a Saturday. Thanks, Millwall. Just really upset at the childish defending on the long throw-in. And why is it always Harry Cornick? At this point, can Millwall just sign him because he seems to be a thorn in our side? But the defending on that throw was terrible. It was a terrible game, and I really don't understand what is going on with the squad. I hope they get a nice kick in the tail, because that was one of the more embarrassing weeks from a professional side that you will ever see between that match and the Reading match. Anywho, hope all are doing well. Everybody deserves to have a better way to spend their Saturday than watching that, and I hope you are all able to salvage something out of your weekend.
Hi Nick, Simon here. Just DMing you in after that performance, shall we say, against Bristol City. That 5 at the back's got to fuck off, innit? There's just nothing there. Surely Tuesday night and today has shown Gary Rowett that 5 at the back at the Den does not work. Then there's no helping the guy. If you didn't see that result coming, are you even Millwall? I would say I'm shocked and surprised, but after the many years of supporting Millwall, nothing this club does for me anymore surprises me. Big up for the tribute before the game. That was impeccable. That was about the only good thing about the day, really. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Come on, you Lions.
Hi, Nick. I just finished watching that from Australia in my front room. It was a tough watch. Lacking in quality from front to back. Pearson clearly had seen the Reading game, realised if you push us and press us, then we don't really have many ideas going forward. And it was almost inevitable in the end when they put the one ball into the box and they scored the goal. It's just going to be a short one because it was that bad. And I wish I would have gone to bed. So from Australia, good night.
Hi Nick, it's Lawrence here, long-time listener, first-time caller. Where to begin with that, really? I suppose I'll start with the positives. What little there were. I thought all the prep for the celebration of John's life was immaculately put on by the club, very well observed by both the home supporters and the visiting Bristol City fans. I think I, amongst other people, struggled to hold back the tears a little bit, especially with the video, seeing John's family there. What a wonderful effort by the club. Makes you very, very, very proud to be a Mill supporter. Yeah, all the good stuff aside, unfortunately, there wasn't really much to shout about today. I would go into specifics. I think you could call out a few individual performances that weren't on par with what we expect. But I didn't even think necessarily it was a problem with individuals. I think back to Neil Harris, who I think is quite a limited manager at this level. But I do think if we had someone like Neil Harris in the dugout today, we would have seen a Mill side come out with a lot more fire and passion and willingness to take the game to Bristol City. It's what the occasion deserved. It's what we didn't get. I don't understand his fascination with five at the back. It doesn't work. The personnel hasn't changed, bar Joe Bryan. If it didn't work last season, it's not going to work now. Turgid, awful. Sort of like, it could have been a lot worse. There was a really horrible moment in the first half in the South Lower where a bloke collapsed and everyone was screaming at the players and the ref to stop the game. Eventually the ball did go out of play, and the cunt at the ref didn't stop the game. Does make me fucking laugh, in a perverse way, that if a player goes down with a back spasm, he gets 5 minutes to make sure his back's right, gets a nice little massage. One of ours goes down with a potential heart attack, and it's play on. You could see that Sarkic was affected. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. Also, I don't think the ref got the memo about the time wasting stuff. I don't think Bristol City were a time wasting sort of side. In fact, I think they're actually trying to win the game and get on with it most of the time. But there were several stoppages, and for some reason we only got 1 minute added on at the end of that first half. I don't really know what to make of Rowett. I don't think you can argue with his record. Up there with probably one of our most successful managers of recent times, bar McGee and Jacket. But the football is so turgid, it's so bad to watch, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Denor, it's only been one game, but he's probably a great player. I mean, who knows? But in that system, he might as well be anyone else. Too many of those players are much for muchness in this system. Nisbet absolutely isolated. Esther, when he came on, Maku, brilliant. Willingness to run at defenders, gave us something to cheer about. But mate, it just doesn't seem like lessons are being learned. We probably will shit out our way to 60, 70 points this season and probably come close again, but it does feel like we're standing still. And I don't know if I've got a season ticket, but if I didn't have a season ticket, I certainly couldn't justify shelling out upwards of 50, 60 quid once you sort of take into account, food, beer, everything else, every other weekend to watch that, because that was terrible. Well, hopefully that's my last negative message for some time. Come on, you Lions. Cheers, Nick.
Hello, Nick. It's Matt Richards here. Just dialing in today, driving back from the game. First of all, going to have to talk about the game, unfortunately, but just wanted to talk about the commemoration before the game for John Belson, and thought he's done really, really well. It was so emotional seeing James and John's wife and James's wife and kids, just seeing them on the pitch. It was just a really emotional time, and I thought the club did really well. The way it was done, really touching, and some good stuff. Yeah, so that's all done and dusted. So let's talk about the game. If ChatGPT had to create a Millwall game, then that is just your typical Millwall game, isn't it? Packed out crowd, expectations. I know the loss during the week, but the win against Borough, new players on the pitch, excited to see them, and then that, it's just first half performance just didn't get into it. We sat back, or we're sitting too far back. There seemed to be a lack of energy. It's just the first half was just really poor. I thought, some of the new players were looking quite good. He's got some decent touches, but you can have Harry Kane up front today, and you're never going to score a goal. He never had a sniff. It was just, when we get into the final third, it just wasn't even there. I think the second half, we got a little bit better. We kind of pushed forward a little bit more, but it's just sloppy passing, sloppy control, just letting us down. I thought the new players looked quite decent. I think it's just the old players existed. Sorry, the players that were there before. You know, I'm not going to dig players out, but you know, obviously Danny had a poor game. Murray Wallace didn't have a great game either. You know, any of the back 5. Sorry, I thought Brian looks decent on the ball. You know, and I think that's the difference. If we've got some decent players that can control, pass the ball, first time as well, because I'm frustrated how many times we have to have 2 or 3 touches. And if we play football like that, then, well, the crowd aren't going to put up with it. Never mind the results. I mean, the results are the results, and it's early in the season. But it was just not good enough. I mean, 87th minute, I think it's a free kick from Sav was the first shot we had on target. Just not good enough. Yeah, I mean, I think going through the new players, to say Brian he's decent. Denore, I thought he just could have. I don't know. He seemed to be holding back a bit, and whether he's fit or not, I don't know. But he wasn't that aggressive into the tackle and stuff like that in the first half. But the second half, I thought he played really well. He's probably our best player, really. He's got good control, touch, and vision. Watmore couldn't get into the game in the first half. Nobody can get into the game in the first half. And SA made a bit of a difference when he came on. And he won the free kick, which Saville, you know, had the shot. But yeah, just really poor game, and you know, it's just a typical bloody finish on it. I thought there was a foul. I thought I saw a Millwall player go down, but you know, it's the sort of thing. Yeah, we'd be pulled up on that, wouldn't we? But they weren't, and away you go, 1-0, Bristol City. So yeah, that's it. That's the game. It's early days yet, so I'm not going to get too despondent. But I think if we're playing those players at home, we need to play a different formation. I think we've got to be playing. We've got to be more positive at home, and whether that is playing. I know it worked for us against Borough of the 5, but it didn't work today. And if we have to play 4 at the back, then let's play 4 at the back. And you know, we're going to have to look, I think, in getting a couple of decent loans in as well in the next couple of weeks while the window's open as well. So yeah, poor first home game back at the Den, but yeah, let's see what happens next week away to Norwich. So thanks, Nick. Come on, you Lions.
Achtung, Millwall.